People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
Am I live? Of course I'm live. People deluded, I'm back again. First things first, appreciative of everybody tuned in. Do me a favor, any comments you have, comment them when this video premieres or in the comment section, you know, during and after or even before people. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you're slapping the like button, you're turning on your notifications, you're checking out the playlist, etc., people, and you're following on all the platforms. Information's in the description. Hope the weekend was blessed for you lot. Hope you've had a fantastic Monday, people. Monday Moses business, Moises Caicedo. Again, it's been quite the January transfer period for me. Every day we're talking about Mudryk. Every day it appears we're talking about Moises Caicedo, or every hour at this moment. And there's probably been some other players here, there, and everywhere. Declan Rice, etc., etc. Out of the names I've said, none of them have arrived at the Emirates, have they, people? Shout out to Kirior and Leandro Trossard for joining the best team in the Premier League. You know, you're only as good as your last game. The table doesn't lie. I don't check the Premier League table, people. I don't know where Arsenal are at, but I know when I checked in August, we was doing okay. With that being said, people, let's see what some of the latest rumours are. And I've actually seen and heard, well, we've all seen Cancelo is joining Bayern Munich on loan. That took a lot of people by surprise. I say by surprise. It seems that he's at loggerheads with Pep Guardiola. So let's see. Up until here, people, or better yet, up until here, people. Anthony Gordon to Newcastle. Enzo Fernandez is back on the agenda with Chelsea as they're not giving up. Cancelo has said there's going to Bayern Munich on loan, people. You know, the emergence of Rico Lewis and the amount of versatile players that City have means they're all right. And I bet Pep wishes he kept Zinchenko. I'm happy you did it because he's a great signing for us. You know, him, Lissandro Martinez, off the top of my head, they're up there for Premier League signings of the season. But staying on task, Arsenal launching third Moises Caicedo transfer bid worth 75 million and are just 5 million short of Brighton's valuation. Arsenal are set to bid a third time for Brighton star Moises Caicedo. Apparently, there's a sell-on clause due to his team in Ecuador. Apparently, they want 80 million. We bidded an initial bid of 70, and now we're going to 75 million. So hopefully that's the common ground. Brighton are in a position of strength, as you lot know, people. Reality is they're not under any pressure to sell the player, having earned significant funds on players, and they will sell him at some point for decent money, just like McAllister and things. Arsenal need midfielders. Arsenal know that the window is running out, just like we're trying to sign him to boost our chances of achieving whatever we set out to in August or adjusted expectations. Brighton had a fantastic season last year, currently are doing fantastic in the league, and you know, selling players like Leandro Trossard, who had 7 goals for them, makes their team weaker in it. As much as we admire their scouting and their ability to replace players and even the manager, I'm sure Brighton would like to hold on to some of these players if they want to be a European, you know, team that qualifies for European competitions and whatnot. We've had 2 bids rejected for the 21-year-old, people, in which I personally think the truth is in the middle. I don't agree with people saying Edu is penny pinching and lowballing. He has played 30 odd times for Brighton, 20 odd times in the Premier League. I think the offer of 70 to 75 million is inflated and more than fair. This is the market. I also understand why Brighton would want to play hardball. Potential is the biggest buzzword in football. They've got a player with potential. They've got an appreciating asset. They've got someone that I do think if the window's shut, he'd be upset. His head would be turned. You know, we've seen that with Steven Gerrard, Patrick Vieira, many a player really, Frank Lampard as well. But he'd have to get on with things. You give him a new contract and reward him for his progress made at the club. With him being contracted until 2025, they've got to look at that anyways. We know he's got a new agent. We know he was doing social media antics. And we know Brighton have allegedly issued a not-for-sale stance on the Ecuadorian, despite the player making it clear that he wants to leave the club. Arsenal's new bid for the player is in the region of 70 million, with 5 million based on add-ons. Brighton could be open to selling before the end of the transfer window, but are hoping for a fee of 80. So 75 million, I do admire in business. You need to have a fee and not go beyond that. If that's 75 million, then hopefully there's backup options. But on one hand, whether I think it's overpriced or not, if he comes and does the business and you're committing 75 million, could you agree to 10 million add-ons, give or take? They've got 70, around 70 up front, 80, another 10 million add-ons. We get the player, he does the business, who cares? Let's put the groundwork to sign in Declan Rice in the summer, innit? Mikel Arteta sees the 21-year-old international as a player that can provide quality competition to midfield duo Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey. The player has been a big part of Brighton's impressive campaign. He also has drawn interest from Chelsea and Liverpool people, and he did well at the World Cup. We'd have to see. Roberto De Zerbi said Moses is a good guy. We'll see tomorrow in the next days what happens. We hope he stays with us for the rest of the season, but this is a question for the club and Moses, and it kind of is. The manager's made it clear like him to stay, but in the grand scheme of things, if the club say we're selling you, or Moses and his advisors want to keep it moving, there's not too much the Brighton gaffer can say, really and truly. Even him, they lost Graham Potter to Chelsea because he was highly sought after. They've replaced him. De Zerbi's doing well, and I think Brighton will have to face a fight to keep hold of him in a couple of years and whatnot. They don't want to keep doing that. And as I said, they've already sold other players for decent fees, so it's not like they're broke as a football club. Moses is a good guy. In life, you can make mistakes. What mistake has he meant? You know, there's no price on ambition. He just wants to join a more ambitious club, respectfully to Brighton, because they are ambitious. It's just we're a bigger club than Brighton at the moment. We see the best solution for the club, for him and for us. As you know, he's been ordered to stay away, and he did not play any part in their victory in the FA Cup against Liverpool. Fabrizio Romano has said Caicedo would love to join Arsenal. He wants a top club move this January, as it was his biggest dream. Still, in my experience, Brighton will not change their stance just because of the player statement. It has to be a very good proposal according to their position. Otherwise, they are prepared to fight and keep the player. So it all depends where you read and what you read, people, in that regards. Again, further confirmation, we're set to bid a third and maybe final time. It would be a club record fee. Again, the news did come out from, the Athletic, that of our interest, initially in Caicedo, and that we had our previous £65 million bid rejected. So it all depends where you're looking at in that regards, people. Really and truly, apparently we're prepared to walk away as long as there's alternatives. Do what you need to do, because we know Tony Bloom's men are difficult to do business with, and there's nothing wrong with being difficult. They want top money, really and truly. So we'll have to see how these develop, people. Cancelo is set to join Bayern Munich on loan from Man City, people, which is crazy. Rico Lewis's emergence. Ake can also play at fullback, and they've got Kyle Walker that can play as well, so they're quite versatile. Just 18 months ago, Cancelo was viewed as potentially, and probably still is, one of the best fullbacks in the world. So for a time where City are 5 points behind whoever's leading the Premier League, smash the like button. It's quite crazy, but Pep has a plan. Pep is a madman in a great way. So if Pep's sanctioning this, selfishly as an Arsenal fan, I hope they miss his absence. But boy, it seems like they're not going for any replacements. It did come out of the Athletic, people. He is keen on joining Bayern Munich. The deal is set to include a buy option. Reportedly, that fee will be 70 million euros. So that's about 60 odd million quid for a 28-year-old. Fantastic signing for Bayern Munich, people. And as is Rico Lewis, a fantastic player as well, people. So we'll have to see. City are also understood to have a buyback clause on Sporting's Pedro Puro, where 1 minute he's going to Spurs, 1 minute he's not. So draw whatever conclusions you want in that regards. Once again, as I said, Enzo Fernandez is back on the agenda at Chelsea, as they're aiming to sign him before the January transfer window closes. Benfica keep giving Chelsea enough encouragement, because they might turn their attentions towards Moises Caicedo or Onana, who's made it clear he doesn't want to leave Everton at this moment in time. Caicedo, who Chelsea bidded for and have the former gaffer. The more you lot take long, the more we're able to somewhat make some progress with Caicedo. Chelsea have been in talks to sign the Argentine throughout this month, but Benfica so far refused to do business unless they pay 120 million euros or 105.4 release clause. Previously, Chelsea have offered players on loan and permanent. Benfica have squashed all of that, but now it seems like Chelsea are intent on coming to a conclusion about that, and they did confirm the signing of Mario Gusto, who was the 19-year-old French youth international, will stay at Lyon to the end of the season and then begin his life at Chelsea from next season. So yeah, in relation to that is all I've got to speak about, people. Check out the rest of my videos. By the time this comes out, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have seen the videos and live streams that I've done today already. Also, there'll probably be some others, so make sure you're pre in the playlist, you're turning on your notifications, you're hitting the like button, you're subscribing, and all of that good stuff, people. Follow on Twitter and Twitch as well, Deluded Gooner 04 on Twitch is just Deluded Gooner. Appreciative of your support and listening to this video. Appreciate all the support you give my channel. Please let me know your thoughts. Most importantly, you and your loved ones stay blessed, stay safe. I'm out.
There's always just that actual red flag defending. I think it's like